No, you're insane!
Hello, and welcome to The Madhouse, episode 88. I'm Ultimate Spy 53, and joining me for this week's episode I have...
Zach.
Hi, I'm that guy who shows up sometimes.
I'm that guy! Remember me?
Do you have a name?
One guy. I'm Lucas.
And I was thinking, there's not, like, one of those ways where it's, like, not a whole lot to talk about, really, in the nerd world as the part of the podcast, but I was thinking we could talk about some really important things that are happening in the, I guess the nerd world, if you want to call it that. One of the things that I discovered that is like, what the hell, is YouTube is changing a lot. Because originally, to get monetized, which basically means that ads are running on your videos if you make YouTube videos. And any video you watch gets monetized. If you see an ad, you don't have YouTube Red, which is the service that YouTube does, if you can like not have to get ads. Unless you have that, you have to always see ads. Now the ads actually are done by monetization, but the only way you can get that and actually get paid for YouTube is if you have, original thing was I think it was 10,000 views, and I think that's it, just 10,000 views. But stupidly enough, I just found out that YouTube is changing it where you have to have 1,000 subscribers like you usually do, and actually the original one was 10,000 views and 1,000 subscribers, and then now it's being 4,000 hours of YouTube watch on your channel, and then 1,000 subscribers. Ridiculous. So it means that people who don't have that, like me, they're not going to get monetized anymore. It's going to be changing in February. So, I also, in general, the YouTube ad apocalypse sucks, I imagine,
Right. Basically, even in that category, it's a very sort of tricky business.
Do you ever notice that amount of ads you get, Lucas, on your YouTube videos that you watch at least?
I usually just use YouTube for music.
Right.
I kind of am to the point where I just don't even register that an ad is playing.
Yeah. I mean, like you get an ad you can skip, or you can get an ad that you can't skip. I hate those ones. So stupid. But like, I don't know. Like, cause I've been doing YouTube for almost actually. Been about 7 years going now. As of December, it's been 7 years since I started YouTube. Well, I kind of had a year where I didn't do anything, but I've been more or less on top of YouTube for a while, and I've just found out they're doing this stupid thing where it's like you have to have this, because basically in order to get monetized you have to have that, which means you get like paid for YouTube. But they've stopped doing that, and so you have like a certain amount of things. So that means until you get 1,000 subscribers, I'm not gonna be getting paid for it.
Well,
which sucks,
it makes sense, because in order to get paid, you kind of have to be worth it.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. I find it annoying.
It's ridiculous, but for company's sake, it's kind of what they have to do, because if you only have like 10 subscribers, they're not gonna really focus on that.
I had YouTube Red for like 3 months. I got a trial for it, and I got to skip ads just like that. I mean, I had ad blocker, but I was able to skip ads. Like, whether it be music, whether it be videos, whether anything you want to watch on YouTube, basically, any case music. You get an ad, you have to listen, you have to like 30-second ad. Imagine how annoying that could be to just listen to that ad. It's really annoying, because it's like now like there's I don't know. It's just, I find it ridiculous that that's what they're doing. Is that they're just like YouTube is changing. Like, some people saying that YouTube is gonna be just dead in like 5 years or something like that. Like, YouTube isn't gonna be around forever.
Well, that's a given. I
don't think that's true, because there's so many people out there who are making content for everything, and YouTube is like the one place where you can basically make any video you want to, and that's the
well, that's used to be it.
I mean, some people have YouTube for the reasons, like you, I guess, for example, you music, which is. I mean, YouTube is a thing that you can do for everything, but I have like, that's stupid. You have to have that thing happening. It's like, come on.
What thing happening?
Like, if you're a creator on YouTube, you have to have that much like hours or views. It just means that actually, I think it's like you have to have 4,000 hours of watch time from people who watch your content within a year. And unfortunately, I haven't had that, so it's like, come on.
Well, still.
I mean, I've had like 10,000 minutes, but not 4,000 hours, which is like I don't know what, 100 years or something like that. I don't know.
10,000 minutes?
No, it was 4,000 hours of.
I mean, with what you've done.
I don't know. It was a lot, but.
Like I said, it's kind of in their right mind to kind of see who's worth it to give money to.
I know, it's ridiculous, and.
That's not exactly ridiculous. It's.
I know.
If they gave money to everyone, it would be pretty crazy with how many channels there are on YouTube.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But anyway, that's that's just something I found out. It was a part of the news that I got emailed about it, and I'm like, come on, really, YouTube, really? You're the most popular platform on the internet right now. You're gonna do this to us? Really? I mean, you got digital. I feel like YouTube is the we had a podcast about this before, but like it is the most popular platform on the internet right now. You can wish anything you want, and they're doing this to us.
One of the most.
Yes. So I don't know. I find it ridiculous, but yeah, I just thought I'd bring it up because it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but it's kind of like I've been saying, needed.
I mean, there's not a whole lot.
Well, it makes sense from a business standpoint for YouTube, but it's frustrating to small YouTubers.
Yeah, I don't think it's like that big a deal. Like, it isn't something that everyone is gonna want to talk about necessarily, but like it impacts us, whoever makes content, or if you watch a channel that makes content you like. That means that if they don't have that many subscribers or that much view time, they're not gonna get monetized unless they have that. Unless like a year from then they get the monetization done by getting that much hours. So like for example, if I don't get 1,000 subscribers and if I don't get at least 4,000 hours of view time from the people who watch my content, I'm not gonna get monetized for it. I'm not gonna even get paid for it. So it just makes it really frustrating,
But
so
I'm still gonna stand by from what he said about a business standpoint, that's what they kind of gotta do. They kind of gotta set a bar. And so, it's kind of like imagining workers. But basically, people running channels are workers to YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, imagine someone working, say, out of a 12-hour shift, only like, I know it's a crazy number, but like 6 hours out of the 12-hour shift, and are you really gonna want to pay them for that?
Yeah, I just find it ridiculous. It's just like, it was like, what the hell?
What are you finding ridiculous about it? I'm
finding because it's impacting people who make, if they don't actually have subscribers, or they don't like they're not eligible because they have subscribers, but they don't have enough, hours of view time for people who watch their content. Like enough, if someone doesn't get enough view time on their content, they don't get monetized anymore, and they don't get ads on the videos, and if that happens, they don't get money for YouTube. It's like, or maybe they get less money. I don't know how it works, but I don't know.
It works because you're trying to find those who are worth it.
True, yeah.
If you had workers, you're not just gonna set the bar at 0 and then pay everyone.
Yeah,
you have to have money to make sure that it rises, your business rises. And so, if you have a channel that 100 subscribers and this many hours, and you're trying to find channels at a certain bar, you're not going to exactly focus on that channel.
Yeah, I didn't really appreciate the email that I got. I'm like, come on YouTube, do better than this, But anyway, do you guys have any more thoughts about that? I wasn't going to talk about it too much. I just thought I should bring it up as a topic number 1.
Right.
I know, like, you don't really pay attention to that stuff, but like, imagine what the music you're listening to. Imagine that impacting the channel you're watching it from, or listening to in this case. It's stupid. Yeah, that's all I can say about that topic. Is there anything else you'd like to discuss on that topic? Is there anything you'd like to elaborate, or?
I don't really have anything to add.
Alright, I just want your opinion. Okay, so the next topic that I had in mind to talk about is, because it was the thing I was talking about with my brother and my dad about was the cereal marketing. I was grew up on the I was growing cable, so I kind of watched how the marketing of cereal was being done with commercials, and like you have the Mascots, you have Lucky Charms, you have Trix, you have Cocoa Puffs,
you have
Cookie Crisp, Frosted Flakes,
all that good stuff.
All that stuff. I think even Fruit Loops got one. And then you have like, and it's like, oh well, this cereal isn't selling too well. Let's make a commercial that'll make people want to buy it. So you have Lucky Charms. You have this apparently I was told that the Lucky isn't actually accurate, and that his Irish accent is fake, and that cereal that they marketed as cereal. It's like, yeah, everyone just wants to eat the marshmallows. So let's make a cereal that actually people want to eat. So they came up with chocolate Lucky Charms. That's gonna make a lot of money. So I don't know. Did you ever? I'm not like. Did you ever watch? Maybe not watch the commercial, but like, did you ever go to the store and realize, oh, there's a new cereal out? Ever see that or?
I like Cookie Crisp, but yeah. I don't know anything about the brand.
I mean, I'm talking about like the bird from Cocoa Puffs, the tiger from Frosted Flakes, the leprechaun from Lucky Charms, the rabbit from Trick, which I actually saw the commercial where they changed the shapes of the Trick cereal. It was originally like actual berries, whatever, like pear shaped, and then they changed it because I don't know, it was more excited to have puffs now. So they changed it. They had a commercial where the rabbit got on this little like ride thing, like you see like I don't know, theme park or something, and it went like run, and then it came out with Puffs.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm hearing that we have, you know, that next big thing is Frosted Flakes, but with crossover with Charm. It's like more sugar, even more sugar. It's like they're trying to make everything amazing by making all these new cereals, and it's so unhealthy for you. It's like our cereal isn't selling that well, so let's make a new one that'll make a bunch of money. I don't know. It's something I never really thought about all that much.
Mm-hmm.
I know you didn't Lucas didn't really watch those commercials, but did he ever go to the store and like kind of like look at the cereal and notice that there was new cereal out? Or
well, I mean, I noticed that there were mascots on them, but I never paid that much attention to the mascots.
Yeah.
So
I always felt like you know, there was something about those characters, because I don't know, like I always feel like in every scenario that I saw in the commercials, the kids were the villains. You know, like they were always trying to steal the cereal.
Well, they want the cereal.
But like they portrayed the commercials portrayed the kids as the villains of the story in each commercial. Even if it was like, let's say a commercial was 30-second song, they would have plot of each commercial for the cereal be about the kids trying to steal the cereal from the mascot. It's like they are evil kids. Because they are trying to steal the cereal, so...
In their mind, they want to have it be so that in the commercial they're stealing the cereal because it's so good.
Yeah.
It's good cereal. So they're stealing it from the mascot because they're showing just how much they want it. It's a marketing trick to kind of oversell it a bit, like an overreaction, like about how much the kids want the cereal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good point. It's just like I didn't really watch a whole lot of them, but I always thought that the marketing of those cereals was always like, I think there was even the Apple Jacks was also a thing where the cinnamon was you know, the cinnamon and the apple were kind of like, you know, do like the whole, I think it was the whole Road Runner and Wild Cody kind of thing where they're like, I don't know what they're doing. They're
I remember that commercial sort of thing. They ended off with, I think, the cinnamon guy being gone.
Well, he was this kind of like Jamaican guy.
Huh?
He was this Jamaican guy.
He was a cinnamon dude.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the commercials kind of ended, really.
They just kind of stopped doing them now.
Yeah.
I don't know what the last one was, but it's like, I mean, I think they still do them, but like, I don't know, like, I got a new box of Lucky Charms because I still could, but and the new one is like three new marshmallows. It's like, oh joy! That's gonna make a whole lot of money. Sorry, I was being knocked over.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's just something I find ridiculous. So is that all we have for that topic? Do you want to discuss?
There's a lot more things to talk about cereal stuff. Like,
oh yeah?
But it's just, they know that after a while things get boring, so variety.
Picking of variety and stuff, did you ever, like, both of you, did you ever, like, get cereals just because they had a prize inside?
Because of what?
A prize inside?
Okay, yeah.
like there was an episode about Chicken Star Wars where these kids were eating boring cereal and they got Admiral Akbar cereal, and so and it was like a marshmallow cereal, and they had like the prize was a finger fish. It was hilarious. And so I feel like, you know, a lot of the cereal nowadays, like it's like the way they market the cereals, they like put little prizes inside, so it's like you could win a bunch of money, or you could win like
of course,
like
kids want toys.
Like, you know, you have it. I think it was like a show I watched. It was like,
look,
this guy would like go to a store and buy like, I don't know, 10 boxes of cereal and just like have to and get the prize.
I have a question.
Yes.
What excites kids more than marshmallows?
Little fun prizes.
Toys.
Yeah. So you just
toys and marshmallows.
You can literally get Lucky Charms, and I mean, Lucas, if you were to go to the store and get a box of Lucky Charms, what part of the cereal would you eat?
The cereal part?
No, like there's marshmallows and there's oats. Which one would you
Maybe as like a kid.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty clear that you don't eat the marshmallows, because like when they had the prizes where it's like you could win up to a blank amount of dollars in prizes. It's like, yay! Or you can like, I think like Mario Odyssey is doing the whole thing where they're putting the marketing on the cereals where you can, if you buy a box, you can possibly win a Switch or a game, a bundle or something like that.
Contest.
Yeah, I've already tried that twice. It didn't work. It doesn't work so well. It's like you could win a Switch. Oh
you
joy! I'll
Switch,
buy it.
But it's a 1 in a billion chance.
That's the luck part of it.
And even then, you have to go through 8 hours of registration.
What, really?
I'm just making it.
Oh, okay.
Really?
And then you have to like buy like, I don't know, 20 boxes of cereal just to get the prize.
It's one of the small prizes, probably.
That's the problem with marketing, is that you can't ever like, you never know, because like example, me, I'm that guy who never really gets lucky with cereal. Like when it comes to sweepstakes, I never win.
There are many people who aren't lucky with cereal. I mean, it's grabbing their attention. It's like, hey, you could win this. But of course, you could also win the lottery. You could become the president. You could go to Jupiter and not die.
But, you know, it's just like, I would feel like, you know, the idea of marketing with cereal is that it's not just, you know, making new kinds of cereal, but it's also, like, putting prizes inside. People want to, I think when you market cereal and you want to sell cereal, but you put, like, a thing, like an advertisement on the cereal that says, you could win tickets to the movie, like this movie, or you could win, you could win a game, or whatever. That's, you know, it's a chance thing. I bought a cereal that I hadn't had in, like, you know, years, and I bought it, and it was pretty good, and it had like an ad for you could win a Switch or something, and I bought it. Yeah, there wasn't. I tried the code online. Yeah, there wasn't a winner. I wasn't a winner. Tried twice in a row, didn't win. So,
but
yeah, the marketing isn't so good with that. So, you know, it doesn't work so well.
Well, that's kind of what they want. They want you to be excited, but you know it's gonna be pretty much almost impossible to get it.
It's just really ridiculous. I find, you know.
It's ridiculous because that's what they wanted.
And it's my luck, so.
It's very...
It's how they make their money.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
they entice people with prizes because people want things besides the cereal itself.
And then it's like, oh, you don't win it. Oh, well, too bad. Try next time.
Plus, it is a bit of an addiction thing, so people could get addicted and buy more of their cereal to try again.
Exactly. And I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just feel like it's kind of pointless at this point to just keep, because if you like, you don't win like, oh, buy another box.
Exactly.
Too bad, you know.
You didn't win. Buy another box.
Oh well.
You didn't win. Buy another box. Didn't win. Buy 10 boxes. In fact, buy the whole store. In fact, go to the factory and take all you can. You still didn't win? Wow, that's baffling. Why don't you go to the company itself and ask the freaking CEO about it?
Does that ever happen to you, Lucas?
Well, I've never gone and asked the CEO about it.
Trust me, it doesn't work.
Do you ever...
They just give you more boxes and still you don't win.
Do you ever go to the store and find like a box of cereal that has a cool little prize add on it? Like, oh, you could win this. Do you ever try that and it turns out there's something actually in that box, or did you
never find anything in those. But
it's so bad. I mean,
pretty much.
Sometimes you do, but like, it's so disappointing. You go to like McDonald's, yeah, you're gonna find a prize, but like, you got a cereal box.
Oh my god. I remember the drink things they had where you get the little tickets on the drink.
What? What are you talking about?
I think they had, I don't know, I remember what store, but I remember at one point one of the little fast food places had this ticket thing where you'd have these little peel off things and they give you numbers and you had to fill in a certain spot to get the prize.
Oh, that reminds me of like when they did Monopoly for Safeway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they I think also Mickey just did it too, where they had they did the marketing thing where they had the one of those board games they put on it. I think like sometime like I don't know the last quarter of 2017 they had a thing where they brought Monopoly to the Safeway branding, so that means Albertsons, anything that is owned by Safeway. They brought it so you could like play the game and maybe win some cool thing like a donut or a bunch of money. Yeah.
Though you know the thing is you're gonna make one of the stickers pretty rare.
Like I was able to win 2 donuts in total, maybe.
Oh, I like those little ones. I like the little coupons where you can get the donuts.
Did you ever try that? Did you ever do the Monopoly things or?
Mm-hmm.
How'd that go for you?
I won a Big Mac.
What? Really? Wow.
What was it? Like, did you say a Big Mac or?
A Big Mac.
Oh, Big Mac.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on McDonald's now.
Yeah, they have 2. They had 2 of them. There was a game that had at McDonald's. I don't know what the game was, but it was a game at McDonald's. And they also did the same thing at Safeway.
I like those little things. See, that's what they get you with.
So what was the game you played when they were doing it at McDonald's?
What?
What was the game you were playing when they did it at McDonald's? The thing you're talking about?
I think it was Monopoly, but I don't know.
I don't know. I find it ridiculous. It's like, oh, you could win all this money. I think my brother was like literally a one. You know, they had to actually go to the store and buy some food or whatever to actually get the thing, which is ridiculous, but like, who is literally 1 away from winning this?
And that was probably the one.
The $1 million thingy.
That was probably the extremely rare one.
Yeah.
The one that you'll never find.
It's like, yeah, help someone get the $1 million prize, you know, in
That's
2
what
days.
they'll do. That's what they'll do. If it's like 10 tickets you need, they'll make like 9 of them like so-and-so, and then the one is like trying to find a 4-leaf clover in a field of dirt.
Oh God, I remember. You know, I think that actually reminds me of you know, back in elementary school when when that one kid would would be lucky enough to find the 4-leaf clover in the you know, the grass.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I found the 4-leaf clover. It actually
It's
was
like
a 4-leaf
trying
clover.
to find a 4-leaf clover underwater with no scuba
You know,
gear
it's
at
like
all.
trying to find a 4-leaf clover within like a you know, a million like a bed of 3-leaf clovers.
That's still too easy.
And
You
it's
need
so
to go
stupid.
find a 4-leaf clover in the Caribbean Sea with no scuba gear on.
And then you'll be
That's
asking
your
forever.
chances of getting that last ticket.
Because I would literally, in elementary school, I would literally look for that 4-leaf clover. I would never find it. It would always be 3-leaf clovers.
But here's the thing. I'm pretty much putting in a situation where there pretty much is no 4-leaf clovers.
Oh man. So
That's
no luck
what I'm
for you.
saying. That's what I'm saying. There's no scuba gear. You have no scuba gear. Depending on how long you can hold your breath and how deep you can go with handling the water pressure,
Yep.
you're basically out of luck for finding that last ticket.
Yep. Hey, Lucas, have you ever won anything or been lucky in your life?
More than what?
Have you ever been lucky or win a single thing in your life or what?
Not playing like the McDonald's Monopoly or anything like that. No.
Right. Like
I
that.
think he means just anything.
Like anything, you have ever been lucky enough to get something cool, like you know, a 4-leaf clover or anything like cool. It doesn't matter if it's a lottery or sweepstakes or anything. Have you ever been lucky before to actually get something?
Not really. No.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you. I've come to the point where it's like I'm like, you know, for example, sweepstakes. I mean, like, I always feel like, you know, maybe I'll win in one day, but like I put my name in there. Yeah, I probably won't win because I never win anything, and it's true. I am just not lucky with that kind of thing. Especially if like with sweepstakes, I haven't won a single sweepstakes in my life. I just haven't.
There are a lot of people who are in the same boat with you in that category.
I don't get lucky, and I'm glad to have friends who aren't as lucky as me, or as lucky as, you know, they lucky as me. Like turns out you haven't won anything in your life, neither have I. Like in terms, if it's unless like something where it's easy to win it, but that's a different story. But like I haven't actually won a sweepstakes in my life. I just haven't. And I'm like for example, Bing rewards. They had a thing where you get, they're still doing it where you can win the sweepstakes. I tried that for a couple of times.
Yeah.
It didn't work so well, like at all. I tried it.
Yeah.
It sucked. So
But
yeah.
if you're talking about lucky with anything, like not just entering things, this is completely random, but while going out of Fred Meyer's once, I found a completely unopened can of Pepsi, and I was like, score.
That actually reminds me of it. I think it's like one of the times where you are walking on the street and then you just find like $1 or something.
Yeah, that's considered lucky, you know.
Like I literally would find like you know, $5. Like, dude, $5, awesome.
I once found $11 in the washing machine.
What, really?
Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
But yeah, like maybe consider that as being lucky.
Or find a penny on the side of the road, like I always do.
Have you ever had anything as simple as that happen in like luck terms?
Oh yeah, I mean, I found $1 on like the side of the road or whatever.
Yeah.
See,
exactly.
there you go. That's lucky.
Or pennies. I think penny is the most common thing you can find on the side of the road. Like, ooh, a penny! I'm rich now. Like I remember when getting like when I was younger, I would go to the store, I would get my money back, and it's like, and they would give me $2 back for the thing, and I didn't realize that was like so much money. I thought that was like, I'm rich now. I have $3.
Woo! I'm gonna get some candy.
I made it such a big deal of it. I was like, oh my God, I'm so rich. And they just couldn't stop laughing. It's like, what? It's like, it's $3. That's nothing. That's like nothing at all. I don't think the big deal of it is $3. Like, but it's $2. I'm rich.
I'm $2 richer.
So I don't know. I thought it was really funny. But yeah, that's all I really can say about that. Well, we went on like a whole tangent right there.
Yeah, that was
That's crazy.
fun.
So I think that's all I really can say about marketing. I don't know. Marketing is crazy, especially with movies, with the food, with everything.
Yeah.
Sweepstakes. It's all marketing. You know, it's crazy what they do.
Yep. But it drives people in.
It does drive people in. It's a way to make money.
Yeah.
So the next thing I was thinking would be fun to talk about would be, you know, how this is something I was looking into a week or so ago, and it was the fact that cable is like going away. Like less people are subscribed to cable now. and it's like not everything like being taken over by Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime Video, all that stuff. But like streaming services are like thing now, or if you don't have cable, you use like apps. And I feel like it's taking over the mainstream world with digital taking over the world with everything. I mean,
I thought
I don't know.
TVs weren't digital.
Yeah, I know. I feel like people are watching TV less and they're subscribing to TV less because it's expensive. Like DirecTV is like $35 a month. It's ridiculous.
There's no reason to have cable, especially because of how expensive.
Like I used to have cable and it was great because I could like have a DVR. I could record whole seasons of shows. I was able to record I think it was the entire season of the entire 7th season of Doctor Who on the DVR, and it was awesome. And we just got to go back to it was originally airing, and that was great. And now it's the point where it's like TV is so much more expensive that like nowadays if YouTube is available, you have Netflix, you have Hulu, you have Amazon Prime, you have any streaming service like that where you can just literally watch anything, or in fact any of the networks, they actually have their own streaming service where you can watch episodes for free with ads, which is annoying because it's like 3 ads or something, which is ridiculous. But like that's the thing. It's like the problem with it, because I had a problem with doing a lot of that where I would just watch my episodes online for free without paying for anything paid for, and it ended up not being so ugly because I got caught. But unfortunately, I've come to realize I don't really want to pay for that stuff, so I go to the apps that have it for free. But because it's not technically free, all the way free, they have to pay for it, so they put ads on it, and they're annoying. But it's either that or pay for the actual episodes, the entire season. That costs like $30. So at some point, it's like I don't want to do that. So it's like I'm making myself through the ads because it's the only way to actually watch my shows. And there are some shows like ABC where you have to wait a whole week to watch the show, and then even then it has to be verified. And it isn't even up until the next day, so it's like end up being 8 days. So I don't know. I find it ridiculous, but like, do you think that digital is taking over the mainstream audience of cable? Because I know you don't watch cable at all, but isn't you do at all, or?
I mean, we have Netflix. I watch.
That's what I'm talking about. Do you prefer it? Do you wish? Are you glad you don't have cable anymore?
I'm completely indifferent.
Yeah. Is cable a bad thing anymore? Do you think that it's a pointless thing to have now? Because I think it's kind of like, what's the point of having it?
Yeah, I mean, pointless, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
I think what I'm trying to say is because with cable you have to be there at a certain time. Because I remember watching Pokemon, the anime show, at 6 a.m. and that's ridiculous. It's like you have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning just to watch a Pokemon episode. It's ridiculous. It's like they have a time set, and if you aren't there by that time, you miss it, or they do reruns. But that's the problem that I'm realizing that I'm kind of glad that I don't have cable anymore because with cable you have to be there at a certain time, and if you're not there at a certain time, you don't see the show. So that's just the problem that I have. And the same thing with movies and stuff where they have the showtime. Yeah, the showtime isn't actually accurate because that's when the previews start. So I always think about that a lot. Do you ever think about that? The movies ever start when they're starting?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is it? I feel like it's kind of, pointless to have the movie time. Like, they should stop putting the movie time when it's not actually, it's like, oh, well, 7:30 showing. No, it technically starts at 7:50. It's like, well, that's, I guess, 20 minutes of showtime, or previews. So, yeah, it's the same exact thing with cable. It's like, cable is kind of pointless to have, because you have, like, oh, this episode starts at 7 o'clock. Oh, I'm gonna be running late, so I'm gonna have to miss it. But if you have Netflix or any of those shows, you can literally just pause the video, or you can watch it literally anytime you want. I feel like it's a lot better, right?
Right.
Because you don't have to worry about it. Do you feel like that's what makes cable, that's what makes streaming services a lot better than cable, is that you don't have to be at a certain time to watch your program?
It's certainly more convenient.
Yes,
I have no idea if it's better or if it's just more convenient.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like the digital age is upon us now, where everything is digital now, so you don't have to worry about watching. I mean cable is still a thing because I still have to wait for my shows to I'll be watching like a show, and there'll be a video about the show, like an Easter egg video, and I'll have to wait the next day to watch it because I haven't seen the episode yet. It was the Doctor Who episode, the special that was already leaked ahead. That's my problem with with TV shows in other countries, the fact that you have to wait for it to air in your country because they get it first. So like I would think of the Doctor Who special, I would like the regeneration was already leaked online, and I saw like one or two images. I'm like, wow, UK, wow, you get it first, and you get to watch the episode first, and you have to spoil for us. Good way to go. It's like spoiler alert for that. It's like, well, we got it first. Well, don't put it online. If you're gonna talk about the wait until the US gets it. That's like, come on, really? UK. That's what I really found really annoying about that. They don't seem to care that we don't get it first, because the UK is ahead of us. So like, you know, if it's noon our time, it's 8 o'clock then. That's which is the show airs. It's like they get it first, and then they get to leak it, because there's literally a day of the episode airing that I saw. I'm like, really? So I don't know.
That's frustrating.
It is frustrating. It's like you don't want to see spoilers, so you know, it's ridiculous. So, and it's kind of this thing where you that's why I like to avoid spoilers. I have a friend who avoids the trailers because they spoil it for me. Any trailer for anything like that. It's like pointless to watch trailers because they spoil everything for you. But I don't know. I don't think it's that big a deal. You know, I just I don't know. It's kind of same thing with like movies where well, it's a different kind of scenario, but like with marketing movies, with they're overpricing everything. I think I really talked about it before about how overpriced movies are, but like I feel like people are going to see less movies because they're so expensive nowadays. They're like $10-12 for one ticket, which I think is ridiculous, because you can easily go to a movie for $4 with the crap. So I don't know. Do you go to less movies now than you used to, or
about the same? You go to about the same amount of movies as like always.
Yeah. Do you find they're more expensive than others? Do you think it's a reasonable price to pay that much money for a ticket?
I don't really know.
How about you,
I
Zach?
don't watch very many.
I think the tickets are okay, but avoid the food and the snacks, because those are where it gets ridiculous.
Exactly. It's like it's literally.
Because you wanted a movie. Also, you're gonna have to get the popcorn for the same price.
Yeah, it's literally impossible to watch every movie, because there's more than 50 movies a year at this point.
Well, I just think the movie pricing is okay. Just watch out for snacks and stuff.
Yes, definitely.
Just get a jacket and walk in.
Just stuff your pocket.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I find that ridiculous. That's all I had to say about marketing, really. Especially with cable and stuff. Yeah, I'm just gonna go out and say, confirming that cable is dead, and some people depending on what you use, cable is kind of pointless to use anymore.
Pretty much.
It's like there's literally no point in having cable anymore, because yes, you have to wait until your shows air on the streaming services, but at least you don't have to wait. You don't have to be there at a specific time. I mean, come on.
Right.
But that's all I really had to say. Before I go to the next topic, is there anything else on that note you guys wanted to add on to it, or what?
Just the marketing.
Yeah, for cable and stuff. Is there anything you wanted to add on to it, or should I move on?
You can go on.
Lucas, you okay with it? Okay.
I have nothing.
All right. So here's a topic that I had. I think this might be the last one, because that's all I had. All I can think of, because there's only so much I can think of for doing a podcast on. But this is something more where I was like, looking at how Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, and Nickelodeon have changed since like the 90s, and how they've basically no one really watched the new shows anymore because it's kind of pointless to watch them.
Well, there are a couple of shows that people like.
Yeah.
But
like, for example, there's a show called Teen Titans Go, which I refuse to watch because it's a pointless show to watch, and I'm only just like to watch the second episode of the original Teen Titans, and they're making a movie based off the show. Why would you do that? It's one of the worst Cartoon Network shows on the air right now.
I'm going to say one word that summarizes pretty much all of the new shows.
Yeah.
And that is butt.
Butts?
Yes, I'm not joking.
What are you talking about?
If you've ever watched any of the new shows, I swear to God, in each episode there are like 3 or 4 butt jokes. And no, like seriously, they just show off butts.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm not joking. I wish I was joking, but no. Butt.
Oh my God.
Seriously,
wow.
I'm not joking.
I remember watching, because I was going through like YouTube and stuff. I was going through like all these old Nick shows, and one of the ones that I loved as a younger person that I was, like a few years back, was Drake and Josh. And
yes.
And there was the episode. It was hilarious because I remember exactly what happened in it. It was Megan's new boyfriend, and Drake and Josh decided to disguise themselves as Jewish Irishmen.
jeez.
That was like hilarious. And so that they put on fake acts or something like that. And like, Drake was like, he did this like weird, like, I don't know, like he's like, I don't know, he said this weird little gibberish. I don't know what do you remember what it was?
No. One thing I remember from Drake and Josh is the game sphere.
Oh yeah. Do you remember that, Lucas?
The game sphere.
I've never even heard of this show. So.
It's called Drake and Josh. It's about two guys.
Brothers. Well,
two brothers who discover they are stepbrothers. Basically.
Technically, yeah, they're half brothers. Kind of, they come from different fathers.
Yeah, and so they have to basically live a life together, and it's more or less okay. You know, it's crazy.
There's a typical cool dude. There's a typical nerd dude.
Yeah, there's Josh who starts out really fat, and then he becomes like really. He loses a bunch of the actor.
It's just contrasting characters.
Yeah. And there's one episode where Megan, who's the little sister of the brothers, she gets a boyfriend, and they're not okay with it because she's like too young to get a boyfriend or something like that. So, they're trying to like break him up, and so it is also one of the funniest episodes I've seen in very much ever, at least in my opinion. And so they're going to the theater where Josh works, and they because the costume shop was closed, they have to go to the temple, where this like I don't know this Jewish clothes will have, or you know the top hats and the curly wigs and like that. I don't know, it's really weird. And so they go to the theater and they talk always. They have this really bad Irish accent, and I mean, it isn't terrible, but like it's just like I don't know, it's weird. And so that they're getting into the theater with the boyfriend, and so they're just like staring at him, and he just looks at me and is like, and then I think Josh, Drake gets over one of the chairs and like and grabs some popcorn over and
oh jeez.
It's hilarious. I always miss those old Nick shows where they like all this humor and then of course that laugh track.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I hate that. I kind of hate that, you know.
Yeah, one show that I want to bring out that I remember when I was young is Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack, you ever heard of that one?
That show was great.
Yeah, I only saw like a couple episodes. It was okay, I guess.
Oh, I love Samurai Jack. They're actually planning to put on Adult Swim now.
Oh yeah.
They make a whole new thing out of it and put on Adult Swim.
Wow, that's crazy.
That already aired.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I haven't finished it, but what I've seen was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a lot it was one of those shows where I watched it, and then I started thinking about the other Nick shows. Like, there was a show that I only watched, like, maybe, I think it was about 3 episodes total, and I kind of saw it on and off the air as I was watching it, and that was a show called, Ned's Declassified School Survivor Guide.
Yeah. And
it's basically this show about, the worst middle school ever, and how to survive it, essentially. Mm-hmm. About how these teachers are insane, the school sucks, or the school lunch sucks, and there's bullies, and how to survive it. And I watched the first episode because there's only one episode available on Net.com, and so I'm watching like, oh, this isn't bad. And, it's, I don't know,
I love watching that.
Did you ever watch that show, Lucas?
No.
Oh, it's actually, I don't know, I feel like it's one of those shows that really kind of like, people didn't really watch a whole lot of it because it was weird. But I don't know, I
liked it.
It was okay, I guess. It was just weird, the characters were weird.
One of the shows I remember watching a lot, and I know it's like weird to mention, but I remember I watched a lot of Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah, I watched that show a while,
Yes.
It wasn't bad actually.
I loved it.
There was actually a theory about Professor Plutonium.
Yeah, the imagination.
Being like he's an I don't know, he's travels in time, or he's in like his ancestor is Samuel Jackson like that.
No. The theory is that they're like the same world.
Yeah.
It's just in Samurai Jack they claim that that's the post-apocalyptic version of Townsville.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And another thing, I know you're off topic, we're talking about just shows, but another thing is that
totally fun. Hey, it's the Madhouse, remember?
Okay. Another theory is that pretty much all the show is basically the girl's imagination.
Oh my god, wow.
They talk about the Green Gang being just teens. Talk about, I think it's Huggins, the furry guy who plays the banjo.
Yeah.
Being a neighbor. Him being a gay uncle.
Oh my goodness.
And so the professor is against that stuff, so they just call it him.
Oh my god.
And the mayor is their grandfather.
Wow.
And so the grandfather calls up the girls with pretend problems and they save the day.
God, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a crazy one.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really think about this stuff all that much. And then people make theories about it. Oh my god, who'd have thought that would actually be a possibility, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I feel like with Disney stuff, like Disney shows in general, like I'm talking about like the mainstream like 3 cartoon shows, channels they have, like Disney, like, and Cartoon Network, and the first one, Disney Channel, the stuff they had on there, I always feel like it was like Disney was supposed to be always like cartoons because it started out as a cartoon, company. They made cartoons, and I always feel like when they made the live action shows, it didn't really make sense because they had all these sitcoms. Like, what was the sitcoms? Like, why did they're not really Disney? And it's like, well, I never really understood why they had all these sitcoms on there because that isn't really Disney. So I never really understood that.
I got off Disney a long time ago because it was just repetitive stuff.
And they added so much more stuff that didn't really make sense at all.
Not really. I just didn't like how they kind of portrayed all the characters.
And like, I don't know. I felt like a lot of it was kind of old because I haven't seen all of them, but like a lot of them I was kind of like, really, this is a Disney show, really? And I just kind of, and then some of them were actual cartoons, like Phineas and Ferb. That was a cartoon. I love the fact that it's Disney and they were originally a cartoon company. They made animated movies and cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
That was what they're known for. And then of course they made these live actions. Like, what the hell is this stuff?
I think live action was kind of a trending thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you ever watch Did you ever watch Disney shows, Lucas?
Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. Like any of those Disney, like, if you watch any Disney show, like any Disney show at all, which one did you actually watch?
As far as I'm aware, Phineas and Ferb is the only one.
Yeah.
I feel like that show was the only legit cartoon show they had, right? Besides maybe, I think that's it, right?
Falls. Also.
What was it?
Wasn't Gravity Falls also?
Oh, well,
yeah.
I haven't actually seen all that show. I've only seen a few episodes, but like, I don't know. I feel like my problem with the Disney Channel is the fact that they don't really produce a whole lot of cartoon shows anymore. They just stopped. Like, everything's live action now. It's like, what the hell? Why? Like, I don't get it. Like, why does everything need to be live action? Like, because that was the idea of Disney was to make everything like it was originally cartoons. Like, and they only have like I think they have about 2 shows that are cartoon, and of course they're off the air now. But like that's it, and now everything is like live action. Like what the hell? I think they have like a few more they've added. But like, come on, Disney, what the hell?
Right.
I never really understood that. But and then of course how you have Cartoon Network where they have some of the weird shows out there. Like
a lot of them are reboots.
Like Adventure Time, like ew.
Dude, Adventure Time was actually kind of cool.
They put like they put a pack on Lego Adventures. I'm never gonna get that because it's horrible. It looks awful.
Adventure Time was actually pretty cool in my opinion.
Nah, I disagree. It's just I mean, design is really key for me. If a show's not designed well, it's just gonna look awful. I feel like a lot of the Cartoon Network shows they had. I remember actually seeing a lot of the intros for the shows they had, and like the intros of Cartoon Network itself. Like Cartoon Network as a platform has changed a lot.
I know Cartoon Network is kind of running out of things, so it just reboots.
Yeah, they're rebooting or they're making
just
new
ruin
ones,
it.
or they have all these other ones. Like they had the Conventions Billy and Mandy. They had Ben 10 was Ben 10 was my favorite one. Candy, all those really really good shows they had. Did you ever see Lucas? Did you ever see those shows on Cartoon Network?
Not really, no.
Ben 10, Candy,
Nige.
What?
Nige.
What's that? Oh, Candy.
Nige.
Is there any Cartoon Network show you watched ever?
I don't. Was Samurai Jack Cartoon Network?
What's that? Was that Nick?
I remember it being Nick, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, I don't remember. Actually, I don't remember. I think it was Nick. I don't know. But
it was Nick, then no.
It must have been Nick.
Yeah, if Network, then that's it.
Cartoon Network. I'm still behind on those shows that I just kind of like. They've added so many, and it's kind of like pointless to watch. I can't really keep up with those shows. Some of the ones that I don't even know what they are. It's like, what is this?
Not a lot of them are really good, and like I said, I wish I was lying, but a lot of them have like a bunch of butt jokes in them. They really focus on butts because it's like crazy.
Yeah, and that's not really a whole lot of Cartoon Network shows that I can remember. I think the only ones I really watched were Pokemon, Ben 10, and I think also Candy for a while. I'm still behind that show, but like so many shows that are just kind of like they aren't even won't watch it anymore. They just our childhoods are ruined because they just stopped playing them, airing them or whatever.
One show that I really liked when I was like 8 or 9 was Bakugan.
Oh yeah, I kind of got into that sort of. I don't know.
Dude,
I never really. I feel like the Pokemon anime was always the best because it was it was only on like Toonami or whatever. The Boomerang Scooby-Doo was also one of those.
I remember
Scooby-Doo kind of changed the game because when I don't know, Lucas, did you ever watch Scooby-Doo when you were a little kid, or is that
I did.
Yeah. So they had like 3 versions of that. I mean, they have a new version which looks weird, but like they have ones that I remember were the original show, which I only watched like maybe 2 episodes total, and the I think What's New Scooby-Doo, which is a really good version of that, and then the Mr. Incorporated show, which. Okay, here's where it gets really weird. So, Shaggy and Velma in that show were a thing. And it's so weird because, it's 2 characters you would never see, you would never ever think about being
I don't know, they kind of hinted in some of the shows that Velma kind of liked Shaggy.
Really? Which ones?
I don't remember, but that's why I remember that, but I don't remember what shows.
Well, did you ever watch that incarnation of the show?
No, I don't believe so, no.
Mr. Incorporated, where all the characters look different, and I think even Patrick Warburton was the sheriff. He's a pretty popular voice actor, actually. Oh well, it's literally it's like the thing before they have a new version of the show because like every other thing about shows is they always like, oh, this show is popular, let's make a new incarnation of it.
Yeah, reboot.
Let's just make a reboot of it.
Reboots are good.
It's a reincarnation of the show.
Don't.
Like Scooby-Doo, that's the one show that they didn't like continue it, so they just like basically kept rebooting it. Ben 10 got the same treatment. They changed the art style where they just aged the characters, or Scooby-Doo's case, they just had a new version of the show. Same show, just new version. They basically just rebooted like 4 times at this point. 1,
Scooby-Doo? 2.
I think 4. They're in their 4th incarnation right now. It's like ridiculous. Like, I always watch that show. It's actually really good. But then I got to Mr. Corporate, which I haven't actually finished yet. But like, I always like, what the hell is this going on with this relationship? Like, all the characters look weird, and it's just like, I mean, it's the same old, but like the only difference is, Velma is more girly now, and she likes Shaggy, and it's weird. But I don't know. And then of course you have the shows which get live action shows, like live action movies.
Yeah.
Like Ben 10 got 2 of them, which I didn't hate it. I just thought it could have been more. They only had like 4 aliens whole. Yeah. That was the one show I loved when I was a kid, was Ben 10, because they had actual like for the first few incarnations they actually had a pretty good show. Did you ever watch that show, Ben 10, or is that?
No.
Nope. Okay. Well, I think you'd actually like it. It's about this kid named Ben who goes on a road trip in the first incarnation of the show, and he discovers this alien watch thing that basically, Omnitrix. That basically, once he clicks the button, it'll turn him into any. Well, once he flicks to the what he wants, he'll be able to turn into an alien, different aliens. I think at one point he counts there's 2 to 3 aliens he can turn into, but like it's a lot of aliens. And I'll show that's actually. It turned out pretty good, and I think that eventually it got to the point where it's like, wow, this show kind of sucked because of the art style change. That's one thing about, and I think we've talked about this before on the show, about the fact that the art in cartoon shows are really important. Do you agree with me on that, or have opinion?
It's a little part of the reason. I mean, the art style kind of defines the show. But to me, the new shows, their humor is just like stale and raw. Yeah. It is not good.
But like, you have a show you watch for a long time, and then you discover their art style's changed like a lot, and it's like, oh god, okay, I'm not gonna watch this show anymore.
To me, the art style doesn't matter much. Like, with the reboot of the Powerpuff Girls with the new art style, I wouldn't really mind it much. But the way they make the show in general is just not good. Yeah, it's not good.
So Lucas, what are your thoughts on art style in shows, like in cartoon shows?
I mean, it's pretty important.
Yeah.
It defines the cartoon, but it's not like a deal breaker in my case.
Yeah, that's true.
It does define the show. I do know where you're coming from, but art style doesn't compare to like the actual show's concept, you know?
And then like you have the other network, Nickelodeon, which was known for a lot of amazing shows. You had Avatar, which only lasted 3 seasons. Actually, one of my favorite Nickelodeon shows was Avatar. Amazing art style, felt like an anime. And then you had SpongeBob, of course. You had any more of the the cartoon Dexter's Laboratory.
Oh,
That was a good show. I
Yes.
actually watched quite a bit of that show when I was younger. It was a good show.
Didi, get out of my laboratory!
I felt like the soap opera show that show was the sister, the annoying sister, was always trying to steal his cookies. Like, or I think
Didi, get out of my laboratory!
like we started, would she bring him cookies or something like that?
I don't know. She'd always get inside his lab.
Do you remember that show?
Never seen it. Sorry.
Dexter's Laboratory. I didn't really watch a whole lot of it. I don't remember much of it.
Oh, I love that show.
Really fun, awesome show. But and then of course
Oh,
SpongeBob
what's
is.
this button do? Didi, don't touch that! Boom!
Then SpongeBob is like the big show now. It's like. It's taken
Oh,
over
it's been on since
more,
1999.
I think it's been more. It's been on longer than Simpsons actually. Simpsons has been on since 1989. Simpsons is the longest running Cartoon Network or cartoon show ever.
I think it was started in like the 80s.
89 actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really crazy how a lot of shows have gone like I think like I said before, Avatar was my favorite show, and the reason why is because it was such an amazing concept. The plot, the characters, it felt so ancient. It felt so real. You know, you feel like they actually want to go there. You know, want to be a bender. And then they made Korra, which was actually not bad.
Yeah.
And then they ended it, and that was it. So it's like I don't know. I feel like Avatar. It changed the way that you know you think about it's one of those you know Nickelodeon shows that didn't really. It felt like more displaced than any other show on the air. Like you know you had. And then you get nothing else more than the comic book. That was my favorite show of all time. You agree with me on that?
What show?
Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm the horrible movie.
I watched a little bit of it.
How far did you watch?
A couple episodes.
Oh yeah. How about you, Lucas?
Bender is phenomenal.
How far did you get, or did you watch the entire show?
I've seen the whole show.
Yeah. If you have a favorite character.
Zuko.
Yeah. Actually, his arc was actually really interesting. Like he
is.
He was like one of those characters that actually made creative memes, like the honor meme or whatever. I don't know, his name was Honor, and I think they had a problem with one of the voice actors where they had to like replace Iroh in the end, and then of course there's actually this pretty funny scene where Iroh is talking to Zuko and Zuko is like it's like a tea episode where he's drinking tea and it's actually not good tea at all, and so Zuko ends up drinking a little bit of it, and then like when Iroh looking, he just toss out the window. It's like, yeah, I love this tea, but it's like I can't tell my uncle I hate it. So I have to, like, he was like, oh, we're looking, okay, just toss it out the window, and it was hilarious. You can't even find out where that moment is because it's so random. It's like the best moments in Cartoon Network shows or cartoon shows, and you can't find where they are. And so I don't know. I think that was the most anime show you could ever find out there, right? Like the most anime show ever. And I felt the comedy was most felt with characters like Sokka. He was a great character, and a lot of the characters were amazing. Like Toph. I think she was a really amazing character. Like her power was amazing, and everything about it was crazy. And I don't know. Like I feel like now that it's been a while, they could probably make a new version of that movie if they tried. Because the movie they made off of that movie, which we will not speak of, was awful.
Nah, there shouldn't be a live action movie based off that show. It's not a thing that should exist.
Yeah, like I would love them to make a movie off that. But they haven't, and I don't know. I felt the characters were really good, and I just feel like it was so spiritual. You know, it felt amazing. You know, you actually, like as before, you don't want to be in that world. Want to go there and visit it, and it got Papa enough to make Lego sets. So I mean, come on.
Right.
But yeah. So last minute thing before we wrap up, because we are at pretty much at time. Is there a favorite show, like an animated show that you love watching? On any of the three networks, the Disney, Cartoon Network, or Nickelodeon, you loved a lot, and explain why. I would love to hear it. So let's start with you, Lucas.
Last Airbender is just the best show ever.
Okay,
So,
and why?
yeah, because everything.
that is very descriptive. You gotta explain why it was such a good show.
It's not terribly descriptive, but really, I could go on forever about that show. So
Oh, yeah, we might actually. You know, I think we could probably do a podcast about that if enough people wanted to. We could do a. And if enough people wanted to do a podcast, we could do a podcast on that. It'd be great. How about you, Zach?
Well, to be honest, I kind of think of both Powerpuff Girls and Bakugan.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose one I could explain, it'd be Bakugan. Because I really liked all the characters. The monsters and how they kind of were formed were a really cool idea. Because they started at balls and then they morphed from their spear shape. And a lot of the story I liked.
Yeah.
Twists.
Totally.
Masquerade.
Yeah, I mean, and for me, I have a lot of them, but I think that the one that really struck me as a really good show was from all three of them, because I know you guys can't really say all three of them because I'm out with one, but for me it's really hard. But like if it was Disney Channel, I don't know. It's a really hard one. So I have a lot of the shows, but
just choose one.
I don't know. I think I might have to count Disney out of it because they didn't really have any good shows that I remember really watching that I really enjoyed. So Cartoon Network, I liked Pokemon. I kind of like Candy. I liked Ben 10 a lot.
Pick one of them and
then
describe it.
Nickelodeon, I liked SpongeBob. I liked Avatar, and I liked Rick and Josh. So
well, pick one and describe it.
For all three of them. Or
pick one.
Pick one.
Just one out of all the ones you described.
I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go with Pokemon on Cartoon Network because that was one of the shows it didn't start on Cartoon Network. Actually went from
So just describe why you like it.
The kids show and then went to Kids W and then it went to
Tom, just describe why
you like
the show.
The reason why is because it's based off a video game. One of the most powerful video games on the planet, and it's such a good show because the characters, you can relate to the characters. They actually, it's an anime and it's a good show because you never know what's gonna happen. And then of course the character of Ash, she's so crazy and dumb, and I feel like then get in the same situation, he always gets it, and that's what makes it such a funny, great show. And it's just like you never know what to expect. So I think that's all I really had for this episode. We are actually I think we're gonna wrap up right now. So we're gonna wrap up. I was this before I ended the show. Is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about before we end the show, or is that it?
Y'all should watch Last Airbender.
Oh, okay, got it. And you?
Well, just a little thing.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm going to be turning 20.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, exactly.
Yeah.
That's very good news. So yeah, we wish Zach a happy birthday, even though he doesn't come on the show a whole lot. But that's not his fault. I'm not gonna blame him. He doesn't live in an area that he can come out and be on the show a whole lot. So just cut him some slack. He can't always come out. Which is why he's kind of guest star every once in a while, every few months or so. Anyway, I think that's gonna have to do for this episode. I think we had a good podcast here. I think and we pretty good topics. It's one of those weeks where it's like I don't really know what to talk about at all because I really can't think of anything to talk about. But
sometimes it's fun to kind of.
But then it's like well, we should just talk about stuff, just anything we can think of.
It's good to find random topics that everyone can kind of relate to.
And then it's like, and then you get to 10. It's like, okay, what we talk about? I don't know. Oh, do you guys ever watch this old thing? It's like, oh yeah, I remember that. And then it's suddenly you go into a long conversation. It's the part of the show that makes the show really good. And that's why it's like I can't think of what to talk about. Okay, let's just talk about whatever. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Madhouse. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. We all really appreciate it. And if you can, subscribe to the channel for more episodes in the future. And we will be back next time for another episode. Alright, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.